No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I have a behold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal in position and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with.
What's going on, people? What is going on? Welcome back to that hot YouTube show, Real Tough Talk. Stephen J here, Mr. Ghost here, and we're here to talk to you about another week in the UFL season.
Well, as the winter gets colder, the season gets hotter, and these teams play harder. So it's been exciting as the season went along. Now we're getting to the nitty and gritty of all of these teams. These games are important, and we get to see which teams are going to come out on top.
And like always, we'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors. This show is sponsored by Members Mark Purified Water.
I can't with you. I can't really.
If you're a member and you want to make your mark, drink purified water. Listen, you got to give a shout out to the sponsors, man. You never do that, and they don't like it. So, I always try to give them a shout out.
Because I'm still trying to figure out where we get this theoretical sponsorship. Like, where is it? Where does it go?
You know what? I'm going to make a commercial when the playoffs start. They're going to have me in a commercial for purified water, Members Mark. And I'm going to show you, and you'll get to see what it's more about, because you don't like to show respect to our sponsors.
Well, I'm not even going to ask anymore.
Now, I'm also going to start a new business. I think I'm going to leave the Real Tough Talk show. I want to announce that I'm leaving. And I'm going to be one of them dudes that be in the train performing, because that's entertaining. I like them kids. They do their thing. And I think that I can do the dancing with them.
If you're retired from football because you have no knees, how are you going to do
I got knees. I'm walking.
You walk, but that's it. Like, people was proposing that we have a race, You mean
after I win the All-Star? My team, my side win the All-Star game.
But you're not going to be able to run, so it doesn't matter. You better hope that you win so that we don't have to do it. So then, again, doing gymnastics on a train, you can't even run. So let's not even do that. You're an old man now.
Guys have seen me play.
Like
y'all have never seen Ghost suit up for anything other than wearing his usual button-up on the show.
Doesn't matter. I'm not a player. Doesn't matter.
So let's not get into background.
At least I don't hide what I am.
I got chips. Like people say, I don't have a lot, but I have a few. And speaking of that, we got the All-Star game coming up next week. We should have an idea of some of the front runners that's going to go, and by the end of the season, the last week of the season, we should have the All-Star video that we do all year. So with the All-Star game coming, it's going to be real interesting. So before we do that, we're going to jump right into these games to talk about where we at in the season. Right now, this is week 7. 3 more weeks to go. I'm being told that the season might be cut to 9 games instead of 10. The 10th game is out of division. That game may not be played. It all depends if we can make up the makeup games that these teams got to play. Even though a lot of teams want to see it, people want to see Wyman versus High Rollers will be Nelson versus his old team. People want to see Browns versus Dem Gettas, Reggie against his former team. People want to see Never Scared versus Violators, Fred versus his former team. So those are some games that people would really like to see, and hopefully if we get a chance to finish the season in time, we'll be able to do it. That's something that we all want to know. That's a game that you want to see. You want to see how Nelson can do against his old team. Yeah. They're both in different conferences, so he has an opportunity. You want to see what Fred gets to do against his old team. Different conferences. Same thing with Reggie. So why would you not want to see those games?
Well, I'm not saying I wouldn't see it, but it's not something that just happens. I think that it's set up.
I didn't tell Reggie to go play with Dem Gettas.
Mm-hmm.
Browns has always been in the East. Dem Gettas has been in the West.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you set up? We always have an out-of-conference game every year. It's just these games are going to be a little more intense if they happen.
Yeah.
But we're going to not focus too much on that. We'll know what's that going on later on in the season with that. We're going to jump into the first game, which is going to be CMM versus Main Event. Now, CMM is coming in off of a loss to Super Friends, 7-0. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Arberly's been balling out. That's definitely an all-star. Unfortunately for them, this is his last week playing because he's going away to school.
Wow. So he's going to need a big performance from them, like a send-off for him, because he's been doing it all year, and they need this type. They may need this type of leverage. They have 2 games this week.
Yeah.
So they're going to need him to play well in both of these games because
they got Main Event and Violators.
Yes, and he's been pretty much their main anchor from moving forward throughout the season. Even though they haven't won most of their games, he's one of the people that's been keeping them in the game. So to not have him anymore is going to be a big blow to this team. But I'm guessing that he's going to look and have a big day as a send-off for him leaving the team.
And on the other side, you have Main Event, who have not been anything that we thought they was going to do. First of all, we didn't expect Sonny to be throwing for this team. It was supposed to be Steph. But they go on with Sonny because they couldn't get Steph to come to the games. And one thing I can say about this Main Event team, they have a great defense. They got John, who's a good player. Jamie, I love Jamie's energy. But the guy who's on this team balling out, Mamba, that dude is balling out. I think he should be an all-star.
And I think with the way he's been performing, I think he pretty much is an all-star already. Just by his performance, he's been playing lights out, day in, day out, like for this, week in, week out for this team. And on both sides of the ball, really, I haven't seen nobody able to slow him down this season. It hasn't translated into their record, but he's been playing some lights-out football this season.
We're going to jump right into the game. CMM's regular quarterback ain't here. Arberly's going to have to throw, which is going to hurt the team because now they lose Arberly as an offensive player. After getting the first down, Arberly on 4 rush runs for a decent gain. Third down, Arberly on 4 rush throws to Ethan in the middle, who runs for a decent game. CMM can't get any closer. They're going to turn the ball over now, giving it to Main Event. Main Event can't move the ball. They're going to have to punt. Arberly gets the ball back. First down, Arberly throws to Greg on the sideline. Butho with the contact, incomplete pass. Second down, Arberly gets blitzed by Little Ralph and runs for a short game. Evidently, CMM will have to punt. Great defense so far by Main Event.
And they're getting it done early. They're keeping CMM from getting anything done. Obviously, Arberly's not their quarterback, but it doesn't mean that you're supposed to scale down your defense. They lock it up. They lock up and keep CMM from getting any momentum.
Sonny's not here for Main Event, which I didn't mention at the beginning. Carlito's going to get the start. First down, Carlito gets blitzed and sacked by Greg. Third down, Carlito on 4 rush. Throws to the receiver on the sideline for a decent gain. Last down, Carlito on 4 rush. Throws to the receiver in the middle. Is knocked away, turnover on downs, giving it back to CMM. Main Event has had the ball twice and not able to do anything. Second down, Arberly throws deep to the receiver on the sideline. Picked off by Mamba, giving the ball back to Main Event. Mamba is balling out. Great interception by him. People need to learn about this guy.
And Arberly's not their quarterback, so he's doing his best to make to do anything out there at quarterback. And unfortunately, throwing the interception to Mamba is not one of those things. So that's not a good play right there. Getting Mamba into the game, he's one person that once he starts to fire up, it's hard to slow him down.
Sonny gets there, so now Sonny's in the game. Sonny on first down throws a spider in the middle for a decent gain. Sonny then throws to receiver in the gap, picks up another short gain. Last down at the 45, Sonny gets blitzed by Roman. Throws to Carlito in the gap, low, incomplete, turnover on downs. And we seen Sonny do something he don't never usually do, struggle with his accuracy. After 3 short passes, getting him to the 15-yard line. Last down, Arberly throws it up in the end zone, incomplete, turnover on downs. Main Event can't do anything. That's going to take us into the half, 0-0. If I'm Main Event, I may have to go and get my money back for Sonny, because he's not playing the quarterback that they thought he was going to be. He's not the quarterback that won a championship in EHS. He's not the quarterback that's have won in LES in the past. This guy's not what he was thought to be, and I hope they got a receipt because they got to get their money back.
And with CMM, obviously they're not gonna, do you're not expecting them to make any touchdowns, anything like that with Arbery the quarterback, and he's their main offensive guy.
Yep.
So to have him at the quarterback, it's not gonna help anybody. The thing about it is this team regularly struggles even with Jesus throwing. So I don't see any different here with Arbery throwing. They just got to get something going.
Third down, Sonny gets the ball back. He's going to throw the spot in the gap. That's going to be dropped. After getting the first down, Sonny passes on 4 rush and is blocked by Vic, incomplete. Second down, Sonny throws a Carlito in the gap for a decent gain. Next play, Sonny finds Rich in the end zone for the touchdown. Rich is also going to get the extra point. 7-0. This is the Sonny that they wanted, the guy that they went out and got, the quarterback that won the championship in EHS. This is the guy. Great throw by Sonny.
Well, it takes him a long time to start heating up. It seems like that's the case with Sonny. But here, obviously, with CMM struggling to score themselves, they have the momentum to take the in this game. It's their game to win, and it seems like Sonny is picking up where he needs to here.
Arbery with 2 runs for 4 rush for a decent game. CMM can't get anything else. They turn over the ball. Main event gets it back. They're not able to move it. They're going to have to punt. Third down, Hansel comes in the game. Hansel throws it up to Arbery on the sideline. Arbery with a great catch at the 3-yard line. Give the ball there. This guy, Arbery, is a baller. Definitely making great play. They're going to miss him this season. Great play by him.
And if you notice, as soon as he was taken off of the quarterback, he's able to make a big play for the team. That's where he's supposed to be. It doesn't matter if the quarterback's not here. Somebody else has to take that position, because Arbery should be on the field making plays for your team, as you see here.
Last down, Hansel's throwing the ball. He's going to throw it to Elvin, cutting in the back of the end zone. Dropped, turnover on downs, giving it back to main event. And if the main event, Elvin has to make this catch. That is a big drop.
And the surprising thing was, besides Arbery, Elvin was having a pretty good season here. So I would expect him to make a play here for his team. He drops it. Unfortunately, that happens to everybody, but you don't need it here.
I don't know if it happens to everybody. Your team is trying to get a win. You got to help your teams out. You got to make that catch.
I said it happens to everybody, but unfortunately, it happens when it matters the most for a touchdown pass, and that hurts your team even more.
Playmakers make plays. He got him catch that ball. I've seen him catch the ball this season. He has to catch that ball. Sonny gets the ball. Third down, he gets blitzed by Greg. Throws on the sideline. Decent to the receiver. Decent gain. Last down, Sonny on 4 rush. Throws to Spider in the middle for a nice game. First down, ending the game. Spider had a lot of drops early in the game. Had 2 big drops. Comes away with a big catch. Ending the game 7-0. Main event with the win.
And they were able to score 1 touchdown, and that was enough to win the game. They were able to lock up and keep CMM from getting anything else done. Obviously, 7 points is not always satisfactory in most games, but here it was, because they knew that the offense on the other team wasn't going to get anything done as long as they locked up. So they got the job done today, and they got the win.
CMM, they're not a terrible team. They're new to the league. You know what I mean? Their problem is scoring. Like, this team struggles in scoring. You gotta in the UFL league, you gotta put up points. You're not gonna be scoring 30 a game. You're not. We know that, but you gotta score. This team already just lost 6-0, right? Mm-hmm. Then they lost 6-7. They lost 6-0. Then they lost 7-0. Then they lost 13-6. This team got to score points. The issue is the points. If they can find a way to score more touchdowns, they'll be a decent team. Arbery is their best player. They're losing them. I think this team's in trouble. I think they got to come together as a core and decide what they're going to do. Anything can happen in the playoffs, they got to keep it together, and they need the next man to step up, if not multiple players, because they're losing their best player.
Well, they came into the league as a team, so they got to start playing as a team. Other guys got to step up and take up the slack where it's going to be lost with Arbery leaving. So, again, they're a team. So, guys got to step up and do their job, play their role, and make things happen. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get anything done on the field.
We're going to go out our first break. Main event with the win over CMM 7-0. We're going to be right back. Next game up, Slaughterhouse versus Main Event. Main Event is coming off of a win. They just beat CMM. So, you know, the momentum's going. They're feeling good about themselves. But now they got to face a Slaughterhouse team, which a lot of people ain't thinking about. You know, a lot of people don't consider a top team. But this team beat Super Friends. So you got to respect them. And
they have a lot of surprising things about the team. They have some playmakers. They have Pablo. They have Welsh, who was an all-star last year. They have Larry, Manny. All of these guys play their role and get things done and surprise a lot of teams when they play together. Marcus, when he's able to make the throws that he can make some consistently, this team is a surprising team, a dangerous team that you have to look out for. They just got to be more consistent with it.
Well, we're going to jump right into the game. Marcus with 3 passes getting them to the 20-yard line. Marcus can't get any closer. His last pass is off target. They're going to turn over the ball, giving it back to Main Event. Sonny gets blitzed by Caddy, rolls right, throws a Ralphie in the gap, who runs all the way on the sideline to the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, defense thinks Sonny was running, and he's able to make the pass. Great play by Sonny. This is the guy that I like. This is the guy I was a fan of. This is Sonny making plays. Great play by Sonny.
And the thing about it is that rush was so long after the full rush, they didn't get any. You have to get the quarterback at that time. When you give the quarterback too much time to roll out, run back and forth, and scramble, it breaks down the defense. And eventually a receiver's going to get open. That's exactly what happened here. Caddy misses opportunities to get the sack here. And that is why Sonny was able to get this pass to Ralph, as the defense stepped up thinking that Sonny was going to run, and Ralph had a free release all the way into the end zone.
After getting the first down, Marcus on 4 rush throws a Pablo in the gap, low and incomplete. Third down on 4 rush, Marcus throws a Pablo on the sideline, off target, incomplete. Last down, Marcus throws the well to stop just short of the end zone, turn over the ball. Slaughterhouse not even to put points up.
And they get close, but it doesn't matter. They don't get inside the end zone. Last time, they weren't even completing passes at first to end the drive, and now they're getting close but not getting in. I think that's not enough. Yes, they're driving down the field, but they got to do a little bit more because scoring matters. That's the whole point of the drive, and they fail.
Marcus has to be a little more accurate. We've seen him struggle a little bit with accuracy on this drive. He has to be more accurate. I'm surprised that he's not able to put the ball where he wants to. Second down, Sonny gets blitzed and sacked by Caddy. Caddy pushes the blocker back to get Sonny Main Event after punt. That is a great pressure play by Caddy going after Sonny and getting.
And I think that's what Caddy needed to do in that last play that Main Event scored. If he was able to do that, that would have been a different drive. They probably wouldn't have even scored. So he makes up for it here with a big sack, getting through the blocker, and getting Sonny without Sonny being able to get anything done on that play.
First down, Marcus throws to Pablo in the middle, who runs for a nice gain. Second down, Marcus throws to Mo on the sideline. The pass is high and picked off by Mamba, giving the ball back to Main Event. Mamba's second pick of the day. He right out won the first game, gets another interception here. Great play by Mamba.
And the thing about this with Marcus is, yes, the accuracy is not consistent here. And you see, Mo is probably their shortest player on their team, and you're throwing it high with him. That's the only outcome you're going to get is an interception, because they're waiting for those plays to happen. You got to get more accurate with your guys. Mo was open on that play. That was just a bad throw by Marcus.
On 4 rush, Larry's blocked by Rich. Great block by Rich. Sonny throws to Spider on the sideline. Nice game. Sonny had too much time. Rich showing the blocking. Great block by Rich, giving Sonny time. Third down, Sonny is blitzed by Caddy. Throws the Spider in the middle. Knocked away by Mo. Main Event has to punt. Great stop by Slaughterhouse. Last time before half, Marcus throws it up incomplete, taking us into the halftime 6-0. If I'm Slaughterhouse, we're playing dead. We got to be able to move the ball. We definitely are a team that can beat anybody, but we can't struggle against these lower teams, because if we struggle against these type of teams, how can we beat a Carver or Super Friends or a IOD or a Riot Squad, Rep City? How can we beat a top team if we struggling against a struggling team? That's questionable for me if I'm a Slaughterhouse.
Right now, Sonny needs time. When he gets time, he's able to score. He was able to score on that first drive because he had time. Give Sonny more time, and he can make things done. He can get things done, and there's proof in this game right now.
Sonny gets the ball. He's on 4 rush. He's sacked by Caddy. After the short play, after the first, Sonny can't move the ball anymore, and they have to punt. And I guess they're hearing what you're saying, because Caddy's able to get Sonny with the sack. Sonny's not able to get time, which means they have to punt.
And again, No time means no plays. That's exactly what happened here. He doesn't able to make any good decisions out there, not able to find any receivers because Caddy's all in his face here, coming, rushing him and pressuring him. So that got to change if they want to come away with a win.
Market get these 2 passes for a decent game, but can't get any closer. Slaughterhouse have to punt. This offense is right now not showing anything. They're not able to move the ball. They're struggling right now. Main Event has a great defense. I'm not going to say great. They got a good defense. They can be great, but they got a decent, good defense. But Slaughterhouse is struggling more than Main Event is stopping them. After a few short plays on last down, Sonny gets blitzed by Caddy. Throws it to Ralph, who's wide open on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first down. Slaughter was playing man, but leaves Ralphie open. Next play, Sonny can only get a few yards after the first down, and they're forced to punt. Caddy has been pressuring Sonny all day. Caddy should get a game ball from his team. He's playing great.
And he's the only reason why they're in this game right now, I would say, because Slaughterhouse on offense has been struggling, so the defense is keeping him in the game, and most of that is by Caddy pressuring Sonny. He has to keep that up.
Third down, Marcus throws a Caddy on the sideline for a decent gain. Last down, Marcus throws to Manny at the 50-yard line, drop, turnover on downs, giving it back to Main Event. And Manny got to catch that ball. That's a good throw by Marcus. Marcus has been struggling, but that was a good throw. They had opportunity to pick up the first down. He's going to have a big drop. Sonny gets the ball back with 2 short passes, gets him within the 5-yard line. Last down, Sonny throws a Mamba in the front of the end zone for the touchdown, taking us into the 2-minute warning. 12-0. Main Event take a longer lead.
And this is what happens when you have so many opportunities back on the field. The defense is locking up and keeping Slaughterhouse from getting anything done. So now Sonny has more chances to score, and that's exactly what happens. You give him opportunities, and he's going to eventually get it. He heats up late in the game, and that is why he's able to score here.
First down, Marcus throws to Larry in the sideline. Larry's tagged inbounds for a decent gain. Marcus then throws to receiver on the sideline. He doesn't run out of bounds. Larry's flagged for blocking the back, bringing the ball back to the spot of the foul. Third down, Marcus throws to Pablo on the sideline. Pablo gets tagged inbounds, doesn't run out. So the clock is running. They're struggling now, 2 scores, and they allow the clock to run. Last time, Marcus at the 5-yard line throws to Manny in the back of the end zone, off target, incomplete. Ending the game, Main Event with the win, 12-0.
And in this last drive, Slaughterhouse pretty much shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
On this last drive, they killed Marcus because Marcus is driving. He's connecting and driving down the field. He's driving down the field, and because these guys were not getting out of bounds in time, they were keeping the clock running, and they kept themselves from getting anything done on this drive. They got to get out of bounds. Marcus told them to get out of bounds. They were not listening, and I think that's why they killed themselves. In such a close game, they didn't bother to score here.
And right now, Main Event, listen, they're 2-4. And, I mean, listen, their defense gave up 20 to Super Friends, gave up 20 to High Rollers. Then they gave up 14 to Dem Gettas. Then they gave up 13 to Wildcats. Then they gave up none, and then they gave up none. So as the season gone on, the defense has gotten better. You know what I mean? They gave up 20, then it went down to 14, then it went down to 13, now it's down to 0 and 0. So as they started adjusting to the league, they started giving up less and less points.
And I think that one big factor moving forward is 2 things. Give Sonny time, and Sonny has to be accurate. Those are the main 2 things that this team has an issue with. They don't give Sonny enough time, and because of that, it affects Sonny's accuracy and his confidence in the pocket. You fix those 2 things, and I think that this team could score a lot more points, and they can get more things done, and they're going to give a lot more team problems.
Yeah, but my only issue with that is, you know, Main Event right now, Sonny has thrown 7 interceptions. That's too many. You know what I mean? He's not really known for throwing interceptions. That is too many interceptions if you're Sonny. He's too good to throw that many picks. So he's not helping his team by playing that way. And Slaughterhouse, they got to get more players here. They struggle all the time because they can't get enough guys out. You know what I mean? And that really hurts his team. When they're all here, exactly what happened with them versus Super Friends can happen. It's just a question of getting them all here.
Yeah, but the thing about it is also decision making. Last week they lost the game because at the end of the game they were driving and they were shooting themselves in the foot by cursing, arguing with the ref, getting thrown out the game, and making them lose yardage on their final drive. So it's similar to what happened on this game where they weren't getting out of bounds. They were trying to make moves when you don't have time to do so. Get out of bounds, drive down the field and score, get your team back in the game. That's not what they're doing. Bad decisions is what's killing them so far.
Well, we're going to take our next break. Main event with the win, 12-0 over Slaughterhouse. We're going to be right back. Real tough talk. Next game up, Rep City versus Brotherhood. Rep City, one of the hottest teams in the UFL league right now, coming in as a team that is expected to go to a championship. It's championship or bust. We've seen every year this team improve, and this is the year to turn it around and get to that dance that they always try to get to.
And I think that their championship win in Casino is one thing that fired this team up to have them believe that whenever they put their mind to it and they give the effort, they can win. And they're showing that this season with the way their record is showing. The record is reflecting the play that they have. They're not a high-scoring team, but they're a team that locks up on defense. They're a team that's high energy. They're a team that's, I would say outplays the other team when it comes to energy and fire. They're very consistent in both halves throughout. They have a lot of energy, and they sometimes burn out the other team just by the way that they play.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. When you say they're not a high-scoring team. They scored 19 versus Never Scared. They scored 6 against Riot, 13 against Dutchmen, 6 against Browns, 13 against ILD, 19 against 99. You're not going to have a lot of teams scoring that many points, and this team has scored 19 twice.
They're not a team that blows you out. They're not a team that's high-scoring. In fact, that's the regular average for most teams.
Right.
So, again, I stick to what I said. They're not a high-scoring team. They don't blow you out.
I don't know what you're reading.
Listen, we can agree to disagree. The stats can speak for both of us if it's interpreted that way. The point is, they're not a high-scoring team, but they don't need to be because they get things done by locking down on defense as well. So they do it on both sides, and that's why they're successful.
And on the other side, you got Brotherhood. This team doesn't have a lot of talent. They play every week. They got some decent players. Reggie's coming out to be their top player. Miguel playing good football. Manny's playing decent linebacker position, Crazy's throwing. Now, I wouldn't say Crazy has had a terrible season. You know what I mean? A lot of it is a lot of drops. But you got to put a little bit of criticism on him also, though.
I mean, one thing that he's not always been consistent with is certain decision making, and a lot of that is because he tries to force something that's not there.
Right.
And because it's frustration from certain times they'll be driving, they'll be looking good, and then 2 big drop passes is what stagnates a drive, and then the next drive he's ready to take a risk and do something that he shouldn't, and it leads to a turnover or interception or anything like that. So that's why Crazy hasn't had the satisfactory season that he could have had or he should be having right now because of those risks from frustration.
We're going to jump right into the game. Rep City, Izzy gets to start. Izzy throws a Meech on the sideline who runs for a decent game, picking up the first down. Izzy then throws a Victor in the middle. It's picked off by Crazy, giving the ball back to Brotherhood. And sometimes Izzy makes questionable throws. He can't get picked off by Crazy. Crazy's a quarterback that can play some defense. Izzy disrespects him, and Crazy makes him pay for it.
And this one thing I could say, even though Crazy has been, not having a satisfactory season as a quarterback, he's been playing solid defense as a defender. So I guess that's his way of making up for the mistakes he makes by playing hard on defense, and he gets a good play here.
Crazy with 2 short passes to a decent gain, getting him to the 50. Last down, Crazy throws to Steve in the gap. Picked off by Pac-Man. Steve doesn't go for the pass, giving it back to Rep City. That is a great call by Pac-Man, jumping at, getting the pick off, gobbling up this ball, just like the video game. Great play by him. Crazy didn't see it, but it wasn't only that. Steve didn't run for it. Turnover.
This was a design play for Steve to go for the ball. This was a route play, and Steve obviously didn't notice that it was, and he didn't go for the ball. The ball doesn't always have to go to your chest. You reach out with your hands. That's what a receiver does. He doesn't do that, and it leads to interception.
Izzy can't reach the end zone. Rep City turns the ball over on downs. After 2 short passes, Crazy throws to Steve in the gap. Steve doesn't go for the ball. Again, incomplete pass. Last down, 4 of us. Crazy sacked by Victor. If you look here, Manny was open in the middle. Miguel was open on the sideline, turned over on downs. And that's what Crazy does sometimes. He locks in on the receiver, and he does that here. And Steve needs to either play or sit because he's not going for the ball that Crazy's trying to get him. These guys are off track, offline, and they're not making plays that they got to make. Your team's already struggling. Lack of effort is one thing that's never going to be excused in this football game or this football world. After 2 short plays, 3rd down, Izzy gets blitzed by Manny. He throws a Macho in the back of the end zone. Macho with a great catch, keeping his feet inbounds for the touchdown. The flag you saw was for the giver stepping over. It's going to be declined. Mach gets the extra point, 8-zip. Rep City, or you should say don't sleep, because those are don't sleep guys. Show them what they bring over to the Rep City.
And that is a play that I'm used to seeing Macho make. Now he's starting to step up to be the receiver that he's known for, catching Casey's passes. So
I don't know if he's stepping up. I mean, I haven't really heard Macho all season.
Yes, but
he's been there, but he hasn't really gotten involved.
Well, this is a way you get involved by making a great catch like this.
That's
so
true.
Again, if you see more catches like this, then that's this team can go even higher than they already are, because Macho is a high intensity player. He makes some great plays for Don't Sleep, and he needs to bring that more to Rep City.
You got Rel, you got Meech, 2 great offensive players. You add Mach into that equation. Macho's a great guy, been doing it for Don't Sleep for years. You add that to this offense, and that's giving Izzy more weapons. You add that with a Hood, this team can score points. He just got to be consistent, especially once Tess comes back from injury. Tess should be back this week. He's been here a few games. He hasn't played because of injury. They want to rest him. Once he get back, this team should be even better. But right now, they're making plays. Great play by them. Crazy with the drive for the big game, including a deep pass to a wide open Reggie on the sideline. Reggie is balling out. I think Reggie's definitely Brotherhood's all-star, and Crazy's able to find him. 3rd down at the 6-yard line. Crazy gets blitzed and sacked by Meech. Crazy thinks Meech missed. The question was, what do you think?
And I think that this is a close play, with obviously angles matter. And with the angle here that I'm looking at, it looks like Meech probably could have gotten away with one. I think that he missed. But fortunately for him, the angle was right for him, and he got the sack here. But that's a great way to blitz in and put pressure on the quarterback regardless. They should know that Meech is coming in. This wouldn't happen if they would have paid attention to that blitz, and that's why he did
Last time before half, Crazy throws it up in the end zone, and it must have been Hater in the house. Mr. Pac-Man with the pickoff, giving it right back to the city. Rep City.
And now you have another person stepping up on defense. Now he has 2 interceptions in this game alone, not giving Brotherhood any breaks. When they make a mistake, he's picking it off here. And Rep City's been locking up throughout this game, keeping Brotherhood from getting anything done.
Brotherhood gotta listen. Crazy gotta get Reggie more involved in the offense. Reggie's probably their only all-star. They gotta get him involved in the offense. He's a big target. He's a good tight end. He makes catches, and he has a lot of energy. If Crazy can limit his turnovers, run the clock out, take everything the defense give him, their team should be able to keep up with them. It's only 8-zip. They're still in the game. We're going to jump right into the second half. Second half, Crazy throws deep to Reggie, cutting in the middle, is knocked away by Mach. Reggie believes those pass interference. What do you think?
And he believes that as he was out on his route, Mach went to jump for the ball, but it looks like he leans on his back with one arm and reaches over to knock the ball down with the other. So is that pass interference? You're the ref.
I think it's possible. I think it's all about how the ref saw it. It's hard to say. Every ref is different. It's like a strike zone or something like that. If the ball looked like it was uncatchable, that could be one reason. If Reggie didn't attempt to make a play for the ball, that's another reason. So it's several reasons why I don't really think it was a pass interference. The refs, this one is letting them play, and that's a good call, I think. After getting the first down, Crazy with 2 plays for a nice gain, getting them to the 20-yard line. Brotherhood can't get any closer. Turnover on downs. Once again, Brotherhood is stopped. Second drop, Izzy gets the ball back with 4 passes for a big gain, driving them to the 6-yard line. Izzy on 3rd down with a short toss in the middle. Victor with a nice one-handed grab for the touchdown. That has to be a top 5 nominee. Victor gets a 2-point conversion, 16-0, the City.
And now that you have confidence and swag on your team, now you're going to see stuff like this. Victor, pretty much their ball giver, playing defense. Now he's playing offense and making plays. We've seen somebody else emerge from a ball giver position to be an offensive weapon in Hector from the Browns. And now you see Victor stepping up and putting up points. I think he has about 3 touchdowns this season so far. So he's been playing hard on both sides of the ball. Now he's making one-handed catches. Whoever's facing his team is in trouble.
Crazy gets blitzed by Meach and sacked by Victor. Victor is doing it on both sides of the ball. Definitely should be there up for All-Star. Makes you forget Smoke who? Smoke what?
Yeah.
Victor showing what he could do. Manny comes in to throw. After getting the first down, Manny throws to the receiver on the sideline with a nice gain. Third down, Manny is blitzed by B-Dot. Throws the receiver in the middle. Tipped by Izzy, dropped by Steve. Last down, Manny throws it up. Miguel climbs the ladder and catches it in the end zone for the touchdown. And we didn't say it in a while, but we're going to say it right now. You got mossed. That is a great play by Miguel, going upstairs, up the ladder to go get that ball for the touchdown.
Well, remember, he's the reigning Johnny Rockstar Award winner from last year. So he's one person that puts his energy in, puts his all into every play. And this is a play right here where he took advantage of his height. He goes up there. Nobody from Rep City could challenge him in that position. And he's able to come down with a touchdown, a much-needed touchdown for Brotherhood.
Remember that Johnny Rockstar's award for heart and determination, and he definitely showed it on that play. As they go for the extra point, Meach jumps the route, picks the ball off with the clock running out, runs it all the way back to the end zone for the 2-point conversion, giving them an 18-6 lead, pretty much ending the game. 18-6, Rep City comes away with the win.
Well, even though Miguel was the heart and determination winner, the Johnny Rockstar winner, Meach is another person that puts his heart and energy into the game.
He should be up there for it this year.
Because he's one person that balls out no matter what position he plays in, no matter what point in the game they are, whether they losing by 18 or whether they're up by 12. It doesn't matter. This guy balls out and puts everything in his power to make sure that his team has the advantage.
And Brotherhood, they're going to have a bye. They're going to have to wonder what they're going to do. Like I said, anything can happen in the playoffs. They just need to figure out who they are. I think Crazy needs to limit his turnovers, take his time, and his team will be okay.
But they got to do him more favors out there. Guys got to step up and they got to catch the ball. When they start catching the ball, again, doesn't matter what quarterback you are, when your guys are catching your passes, it gives you more confidence to throw the ball more accurately. So because of that, he will be able to be more accurate and be more conserved and be able to be more careful with the ball. Because they're not catching the ball, it throws Crazy's game off completely. So it makes everything worse. They got to catch his passes. I think that's the key to them progressing in the future.
We're going to take our next break. Rep City comes away with the win over Brotherhood, 18-6. Rep City's on a roll. This team's going to be dangerous in the playoffs. We'll be right back on Real Tough Talk. Before we get into the next game, 99 Problems versus Dutchmen, I want to take a shout-out to our sponsors. Once again, Members Mark, purified water. If you have a mark and you know a member, drink this purified water. So just drink it.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
Why? Yo, okay. Next week,
right,
I want to see a check written by them that's sponsoring us for anything. Please bring me a check. I want to see it in writing that these people are sponsoring us. Just do me that favor.
Members Mark, purified water.
Exactly.
If you feel like a member, make your mark with purified water.
That makes no sense either. Oh!
Now we get back to the game. As we get a shout out to our sponsors. Dutchmen versus 99. Davi, one of the main core guys from 99, didn't like my comments. Didn't like the fact that I put Street Fam ahead of this team. And I went on record saying that this team has to make more plays. They need another playmaker. I like to say Javon. They put too much work on Shannon. And if they could get Casey another playmaker, this team would be somebody to worry about. But that's the question, if.
you mentioned Javon being that extra playmaker, but the thing about it is he's inconsistent.
Yep.
Most of the time. So, I mean, even though inconsistent most of the time means that most of the time he's not consistent, Is that confusing to you, I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. He's not consistent most of the time.
Okay.
He drops a lot of passes.
Thank you. Because what the hell are you talking about?
Okay, I was trying to be nice and formal, but again, he drops a lot of passes, certain times touchdown passes, and that's what hurts his play,
right?
And that's what keeps him from being considered a player on that upper level. And because of that, this team could be a lot higher if he was able to play on that level.
And this is a divisional game, and Dutchmen needs this game. Dutchmen right now coming in 1-3-1. They're not the team we expected them to be. They have a team that really won games in Casino, a known team, and they got to step it up. And I think once they focus and they get their mind to it, they're not worrying about their record. They're just worrying about gaining momentum and getting used to all the rules and all the players. This team will be all right. They got a few playmakers, and they just got to get on the ball of getting everything going.
Well, unfortunately, they have another problem to worry about in this game because their quarterback, White, will not be here in this game. So they have a replacement in Frank that's going to quarterback for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing for them in this game, but they got to buckle down and see what happens in this game. After
getting the first down, Frank or 4 rush runs for a decent gain. Third down, Frank throws it to Isaiah on the sideline for a decent gain. Last down, Frank throws it to Chris in the front of the end zone. Chris catches it just short of the end zone. Turnover on downs, very heartbreaking. Couldn't get the ball in.
And the thing about it is that's deceptive that they were that close, but I think 99 Problems allowed them to get that close, and they buckled down with them not being able to cross the plane of the end zone. That was a setup defense there. They struck a line in the sand and dared them to come through. They weren't. The Dutchmen weren't able to come through. That's good defense by 99.
Second down, Casey on 4 rushes, sacked by Mike for the safety, 2-0, and once again, 99 has the worst offensive blocking scheme I've ever seen in touch football history, and it cost them 2 points here.
And the defensive scheme that they had, keeping them right before getting into the end zone, kind of hurt them in the end because they weren't able to move from that area, and that's what gave Casey no time in that area and was able to get sacked there. You got to get in better position if you're the offense, knowing that you're not a good blocking team. You got to find a way to give Casey time and put him in better position. That's what gets them to safety.
After getting the first down, Frank is blitzed and sacked by Shannon. Shannon, great play. Frank would have got the ball off, like you saw, it would have been picked off by Drake. Great play by Shannon. Second down, Frank throws deep to receiver, cutting on the sideline. Just overthrown, Dutchmen have to punt. Second down, Casey gets the ball. He throws the hands in the gap for a nice gain. Last down, Casey finds Javon, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Hands gets the extra point, 7-0, 99.
And the frustrating thing for the Dutchmen on this play here, they designed this play for Javon to cut in the back and get a toss-up pass. You hear Anton on the sideline screaming to his defense, watch the tall guy in the middle. Watch him in the back. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to him. They're throwing to him. Nobody picks him up. He's left wide open in the back of the end zone for an easy touchdown. And that's unfortunate because that was called out to them and they didn't respond.
Frank throws the ball to receiver in the gap and is picked off by Javon. The receiver wasn't looking. Frank gets frustrated and gets ejected for cursing.
And they didn't need that at this point in the game. They don't even have their quarterback White, so Frank is just standing. So now they lose Frank not only as a quarterback, but as a defender on the other side. Yep. That's a big blow to their team. Something that they didn't need here, and now they have to find a way to make up for that.
Casey on 4 rush, rolls right, throws to JR on the sideline. The ball bounces off JR's head and is picked off by Nook, giving it back to Dutchmen, and that has to be a not top 5 because JR must have not remembered to bring his hands, so he brung his head.
But how is he going to bring anything if he doesn't even know the ball's coming his way? It hit the back of his head. He wasn't even looking, so Casey threw it without the JR paying attention. It literally bounces off his head and into Nook's hand. That's probably one of the worst top 5, not top 5 plays I've ever seen this season. That's just ridiculous. That shouldn't happen. But unfortunately, silly plays like that is what hurt.
Can
Is
you
going to
please
hurt
play
99.
my Price is Right music on this?
Oh my goodness. The funny thing is, 99 knew this was so bad that they were trying to bribe me, the cameraman, into not showing this, but I had to. This is too good to not share to everybody. They gotta make up for that because this is a horrible play here.
Second down, Chris on 4 of us gets sacked by Dre for the safety, 9-2. Dre healthy now, and when the guy's healthy, he makes plays. Great play by Dre getting the safety, 9-2. You would think it's a baseball game.
And the funny thing is, I've never seen 2 safeties on either side of the field before in the game.
Word.
Never. This is the first time for everything here. This shows that both quarterbacks are struggling with gaining time and not getting anything off. And because of that, now you have 2 safeties on each
Second
side.
down, Casey on 4 rush, throws to Shannon. They got picked off by Dante, giving the ball back to Dutchmen. And like I said, they need another playmaker because guys are prepared for Shannon to get the ball. They already got it to one of the second playmakers. Javon's hand early. They try to get Shannon involved late, and it's picked off.
And this is now they're starting to turn over the ball
Yep,
on both
they are.
sides. They're throwing interceptions.
Back and
They're-
forth.
They're not paying attention to the offense. They're not driving right. Quarterbacks are not having time. And now it's a challenge to see who can turn over the ball more. That's what it seems like.
Chris on 4 rush is sacked by Dre. Dre's second sack of the game. Dutchman after punt. Last wave before half, Casey throws it up, intercepted by Isaiah, taking us into the halftime, 9-2. If I'm 99 Problems, I'm up 9-2. I should not be happy about that. If I want to say I'm going to compete, if I'm trying to take over this division, these are games I got to win easily, and I can't keep these games close. If I'm them, I'm ashamed of myself because there's no reason that we only got 9 points. One of them is from a safety. We should be up by more. We can't keep turning over the ball.
And if I'm Dutchman right now, I should be frustrated with the way we've played in this game. This is a horrible game that they came out to play. Yes, they don't have their quarterback, but their defense is not playing any better. Besides that one play that by Mike have with the safety, he's been one person that's been balling out the season for them, pressuring the quarterback. But everybody else got to step up. They even had a play called out to them, knowing what was going to happen, and they were not able to pick up on it, and that is why they're down 9-2. That's unfortunate.
Shannon with a nice kick return, taking him all the way to the 30-yard line. I don't understand why teams continue to kick to this man. He's going to hurt you. After 2 short passes, getting him to the 5-yard line. Last down, Casey on 4 rush, throws it up to Javon, cutting the back of the end zone. Drop, turnover on downs. And that's my problem with Javon. 1 minute he could look like Kevin Garnett, and the next minute he could look like Kwame Brown. If this guy once he learns to be consistent, he's going to be dominant, but he's far from dominant as long as this keeps happening.
Only real basketball fans know who Kwame Brown is, because I don't even think he remembers who he is anymore. But with that said, Javon, this play was also called out by Anton. They called it out again. It's fortunate that he dropped this pass, but they did not pick him up again, and he almost got another touchdown the same exact way he got it last time. Their defense they got to step up because they're struggling out there.
Second down, Anton throws to Isaiah in the gap. It's tipped by Isaiah, picked off by Mac. Pass was high. Shannon blitz and throws Anton off. Great play by Shannon. They got Shannon getting involved in the blitz. We usually see him sit back in coverage. They're not doing that no more. They're blitzing him in, and he's bringing pressure. Great play by him.
And Shannon is probably one of the fastest guys in TFL.
Yep.
So when you have him blitzing in, it doesn't matter if you're a big guy. It doesn't matter if you're a fast guy. Shannon's going to find a way to get by you, and that's exactly what happens here. He's a hard person to block when he's coming that fast. And that is a great defensive play there.
Casey with 2 short passes to Shannon for a short gain. Last down, Casey on 4 rush with a block, a sack by Mike, turn over the ball once again. One of the worst offensive lines in the game. I think it's the Giants' offensive line or something like that, because they cannot give Casey protection, and the pressure keeps getting to him. Next drive, Anton with 3 passes. Nice game, but can't get any further. They turn the ball over. After getting the first down, Casey throws deep to Shannon, wide up on the sideline for a big gain, getting him near the 5-yard line. Casey finds Shannon cutting in front of the end zone for the touchdown. Isaiah gets an interception, returns it to the end zone for 2 points. It's 15-4, 99.
And this is a weird scoring game right now. You see guys running back kick return, interceptions for the extra points, safeties. But right now, 99 is getting their job done now. They were struggling on offense, but now they're starting to pick up. Casey's finally starting to connect with his receivers. He's able to get some time to find Shannon in the end zone. If they can keep this up, I think that they can come away with a win.
And I think Shannon should be up there for Offensive Player of the Year. He's been being one of Casey's major weapons, not only on the offensive end, but on the kicking game. So I think he should be talked about. I don't know if he's going to win it, but it's definitely a guy we should talk about and they should really consider. After getting the first down, Anton throws the receiver on the sideline for a decent gain. Last down, Anton throws it up to Isaiah in the corner end zone. It's tipped and caught by Isaiah for the touchdown, 15-10. Great play by Dutchmen trying to get back in it. They need an onside, but great play by them.
And this was a desperation play, and Isaiah answered.
I think Isaiah's an all-star.
I mean, he's been playing
still
hard
got to see, but I think
but if he can play this consistent, then yes. He's been doing whatever he had to on defense and on offense. Here, it's not really clear because you see a guy get in the way of the pass when he throws it up, but he comes down with the ball. That's fortunate because that puts them back in the game. All they need is one good stop, and they have a chance to take the game.
Well, they try to go for the onside. Shannon catches the ball, ending the game 15-10. 99 Problems comes away with the win.
And regardless of how bad 99 played in this game, they did what they needed to do in the end. Casey was able to score his 14 points or so, and they were able to lock up on defense at the end. You know, they had one toss-up play to Isaiah, but other than that, their defense played well. They locked up, and they put pressure on their quarterback or whichever standing quarterback they had. They did their job, and they came away with a win.
And Dutchmen fall of 1-4-1, and they're in danger of being a wild card team, having to face Brotherhood and then play, the top seed. And right now, we got to see there's a lot of games left, but 99 is trying to take over the division, especially with Never Skin and IOD both struggling. So right now, Dutchmen, they're not out of it. Obviously, every team makes the playoffs, but they need Whites back. They need to win the next few games because they can jump back and get out of that wild card. Nobody wants to play that wild card because it's 2 games in one day you got to play.
And we've witnessed teams get eliminated because they've been so tuckered out in the first game that they had to play a fresh team in the second, pretty much the top seed in that division, and then still be fresh. So that's a hard way to set yourself up for the playoffs. So, no, like you said, no team wants that. But unfortunately for the Dutchmen, it looks like that's what's going to happen.
Well, we're going to take our next break, 15-10, 99 Problems with the win. 99 has an opportunity to take over this division. They got to keep doing what they're doing, keep it consistent, score when they can, and they got to get Casey some blockers. This is the worst offensive line I've ever seen, ever. Like, they can't block.
Mm-hmm.
They can't block.
All right, can we go to the next game?
They can't block.
We go into our next break.
They need to sign a free agent to block. Maybe they need the wall that the president-elect is thinking of building.
We're going
but
to
they need
our
a block.
next break.
They got no line. They can't block nobody, and they need to be ashamed of themselves. We'll be back. Next game up, and this is a very important game. It's a divisional game. Wildcats versus Dem Gettas. Dem Gettas has attempted to turn their season around. They had a rough start in the beginning. Now they're starting to heat up right now, and they have Wildcats next on their agenda.
And they had a lot of guys missing in the game. They had certain people that came here late and all of that. And they weren't necessarily connecting the way they should early in the season. A lot of guys weren't stepping up, but it seems like now they're hitting their stride. They're getting things going. Reggie's starting to look more comfortable in the pocket with this team, being more accurate. And you're seeing Hollywood playing some of the best football he's played in multiple seasons. So he's definitely looking to be going to the All-Star game this year, and it's well-deserved because he's been their team's main anchor.
Dem Gettas have won their last 4 games. They came into the season 0-2, and now they won their last 4 games. This team is dangerous, and people got to be careful because they can beat anybody. And in them 4 games they've won, even Carver was on one of the teams that they beat.
Yeah. Well, it started with CMM. Their second game was with Carver where they won. And ever since then, they've been ceasing to slow down. They've been winning game after game. They've been coming out, putting up points. Sometimes not too much, but they've been locking up on defense as well. This team has been doing whatever they had to get wins, and it's shown on their record.
Can Hollywood be coach/captain of the year?
I think so, because this team was looking flat in the beginning of the season. Then they started hitting their stride. Hollywood has been stepping up, even as a player, being an all-star level player here, and getting these guys to play together and play throughout the games and not give up, never say die. And that's how they was able to beat Carver and get this winning streak going as long as they have.
And the Wildcats. Wildcats are a team that have a few athletes. Wildcats are a team that have a few athletes. They got certain guys that I like. Mike, I like Mike. Mm-hmm. Monster is the heart and soul energy of the team. I like him. He's a good player. But their quarterback, Chris, is just not consistent enough. He makes questionable throws. They need to get a little more efficient on the offensive side of the ball, and I think they'll be good. They also have Sean, who's a good player. They also have Chad, who's not here this week. Mm-hmm. He went to a tournament, but he'll be back. He should be back next week. They got some players. Chris just got to be more consistent.
Yeah, but one thing you got to say that one weakness that this team has, and it affects Chris's play, this team is very undersized. They're not a big team. They don't have too many guys with size, and because of that, it's hard to either stand your ground or protect your quarterback. Chris doesn't have no time out there. He gets rushed in. He gets pressured in almost every game. They have nobody that can stop the pass rush, and because of that, that is one of the reasons why Chris hasn't been having such a great season this year.
Chris is not going to be here. Chalo's going to get the start for Wildcats. We're going to start off with the game. Chalo throws a Mike, cutting in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first. Chalo then throws the receiver on the sideline, picked off by Luke, giving the ball back to Dem Gettas. Once again, Dem Gettas making turnovers on defense. Great play by them.
And they start off right away, locking up on defense and making a big play. Chalo coming in to cover for Chris in this game, but it doesn't look like it's going to change whatever's going on with this team, because that's another interception thrown by them, and Dem Gettas is ready to take advantage.
Reggie on second down throws the heck on the sideline for a nice game. Third down, Reggie gets blitzed and sacked by Will. After getting the first, Reggie's blitzed again by Will and throws the receiver in the middle for a decent gain. Last down, Reggie on forward rush throws the heck in the corner end zone. Forced out by Mike, turnover and downs. Mike is playing very well this season. He's turning up smart to know to force the guy out of bounds or give him a chance to land in. Great play by Mike.
And he was in position to do so. Normally, certain people would go and try to knock the ball down, but but Hector was already in position to make the catch. So the best thing you do is take advantage of his body and push him out of bounds, either make him drop the ball or force him out. That is a great defensive play by Mike.
Second down, Chulo throws to Sean in the gap for a decent game. Third down on forward rush, Chulo throws to Kamal in the middle. That's dropped. Wildcats after punt. And I couldn't be wrong about a player. Kamal was a guy I thought would dominate. I thought he'd be a killer this season, but he just has not been the player that we saw from week one, and it's disappointed because he showed some glimpse of talent. Reggie on first down throws the Rob on the sideline for a decent gain. Sean gets flagged for illegal contact. Third down, Reggie gets blitzed, throws to John in the gap, who runs for a nice gain, picking up the first down. If you look here, Dre with a nice block on Ed at the end of the play. Reggie throws deep to a wide open Dre in the end zone. That's dropped. I think that should be a not top five. He has to hold on to that ball. He don't, and that is a big drop by Dre.
And knowing Dre and seeing him play as long as I have, this is something that's shocking to me. Dre, wide open touchdown pass and drop. I've seen him catch game-winning touchdowns like this, and all of a sudden, a routine play for him is dropped. Yes, that should be up there for not top five.
Just look at his face, though. I just love the expression on his face.
I think that's what made it not top five.
He's looking around like, what happened?
Because normally you see Dre as one person that likes to talk. He likes to, get in people's head or whatever. Right here, he looked like he didn't want to hear none of it. He dropped that pass. He had nothing to say on that play. Second
down, Reggie throws the receiver for a few yards, and the defender for Wildcats get flagged for illegal contact. Third down, Reggie throws a nice pass to Hollywood in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Dre gets the extra point, 7-0, Dem Gettas.
Right here, Dem Gettas driving down the field. Even though they dropped that touchdown pass, Reggie still has a way to drive down the field and score anyway. That is a great way to score regardless of what's going on in the field. Reggie stays cool, collected, and he's able to still get into the end zone for the touchdown.
After getting the first down, third down, Chulo throws a Kamal on the sideline. That's dropped. Last time, Chulo throws a Kamal in the end zone, incomplete, turnover on downs. And I don't understand what's going on with Kamal. He's been playing a little better defense than he has offense, but I thought he would be an offensive juggernaut, and I guess I'm wrong.
And it could be pressures getting to him. And he was a playmaker on his team, so now people are paying attention to him. They recognize him, and that's why more pressure's put on him. And I'm thinking that's what's affecting his play.
Reggie with 5 passes, getting him to the 5-yard line from their own 35. Last down, Reggie finds Isaiah in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, taking us into the half. 13-0, Dem Gettas. Reggie is on fire.
And if that's all you're going to have to say for Dem Gettas, then I got to get on the Wildcats right now. They have been playing lackluster offense from the beginning of this game. You had some good defensive plays on the defensive side, but their offense is not helping them at all. And eventually the defense is going to be worn out the way they are now. And Reggie's taking this opportunity to pick them apart. The offense has to put up points in order the defense to survive.
And Reggie's trying to get this Dem Gettas team to a championship. He guided Browns to 2 consecutive championships. Yeah. So if there's a quarterback that can get you to the chip, it's Reggie. He just got to keep doing what he's doing. Hollywood got to keep balling out like the all-star he is, and this team will be fine. After getting the first down, Reggie with 2 passes to Hollywood to get them to the 10-yard line. 3rd and goal, Reggie throws to Isaiah in the back of the end zone. Picked off by Will, giving the ball back to Wildcats. Once again, this Wildcats defense playing great, and this time to get an interception.
And it looked like Reggie didn't expect Will to be able to get up there and get that ball right there. So I take that as him taking a risk and not necessarily second-guessing that play and kind of underestimating the player right there. Right. Will's he's a bigger sized guy right there, but he's still able to get up there and get the interception. That's a great defensive play.
Chulo throws deep to Mike in the gap, incomplete. Defenders flag for pass interference. Wildcats end up getting a big gain in the first down. Was it pass interference?
And I think it is pass interference because he touches him way before the ball comes down, actually making the player lose his balance, almost falling on him as he's reaching over for the ball. Yes, that's definitely pass interference. That's a good call, and that is a big gain for this team when they are struggling. That's something that they needed here.
Second down, Chulo throws deep to Sean in the middle. Overthrown, picked off by Isaiah, who pitches to Dre, who runs it all the way in the end zone. Rev said the pitch was forward, and it takes him back to the 40-yard line. That is a great play by Isaiah. He's doing it on both sides of the ball. Great pick off by him. He attempts to get more with the pitch to Dre, but at the end of the day, that's a good interception by Isaiah.
And Dre was arguing because he figured that, okay, Isaiah caught the interception, and he pictures it behind his back to Dre. But the point is, while he's running forward, he does pitches it behind the back, but the ball moves forward with Isaiah, and Dre runs up to it. That's a definite forward lateral, and that is why the ref threw the flag. It goes to the 40, but that's still a good defensive play.
After getting the first down, Reggie throws deep to Dre in the middle for the touchdown. 18-0. Gettas walk away with this win.
And Dre ends it with a pretty much a game-sealing touchdown pass here. He makes up for that drop here. Now he's all smiles this time because he got the job done here. And that is the way you end the game. You take advantage with the other team, the way the other team gives you. They took advantage. They were able to pick apart the defense. Reggie has been looking good ever since these last couple games took place. And he's looking like a person that is a championship-level quarterback right now.
That is 5 in a row that Dem Gettas have won. And they're playing great ball. I haven't seen a team hot like that for a while. And they're really moving. After starting off slow, they turn it around. We haven't seen a team since Reckless turn it around like that.
Yes.
Losing their first few games and going consecutive wins. And that team made it to the Final Four a few years back. They ended up losing to YMM. Yeah. But they made it to the Final Four. But they winning a winning streak like this, and Dem Gettas right now playing great football.
And this is the football that they need to play. Reggie needs to play at this level consistently, and if they do, this is the team to beat in this division. And that's just me. That's my opinion. If Reggie, like I just said, can play on this level in every single game going through the season, they will be the team to beat in this division.
Wildcats need Chris. I mean, I know we criticize some of his play, but he's a better quarterback than Chulito. He just got to be a little more consistent. He just got to limit his turnovers. But I think they have a better chance to win with him than anybody else because this guy didn't show me anything. Their defense is still decent, but they need this guy, Chris, to be here in order for them to have a chance.
And pretty much that is the case. Their
Yep.
defense plays the best that they can, but the defense isn't going to last forever as long as the offense is not putting up points, and the defense has to put up more work in order to keep them in the game. But when you face quarterbacks like Reggie, Chuck, Lou, which is pretty
Deion.
much, yes, Reggie, Chuck, Lou, Deion,
Nelson.
Ramsey, Nelson. When you face these type of quarterbacks, no defense is going to last that long, and that's unfortunate because their defense has been playing pretty well. The offense got to help them out.
We're going to be right back. Take our next break. Gettas coming away with the win, 18-0. We'll be right back. Real Tough Talk. Welcome back. Real Tough Talk. Stephen J. Ghost. Yeah, I think I'm wearing something different, but, you know, what can we do?
I mean, you're going to say that every single time. I think they get the picture now.
It's a different day. It's
Yeah.
Wednesday. Next game we're going to talk about is Violators versus CMM. Now, CMM, they're just not what we thought they were going to be. We didn't expect them to be a top team, but we expected them to compete a little bit better than what they are now. I mean, granted, they're in a tough division. They're with the Violators and Carver, so that's a tough division in itself. But they're just not the type of team that we thought they'd be coming off of their first win of the season. They've lost 5 games straight. After a tie, they've lost 5 games straight. 4 games straight, I'm sorry.
And the main thing is offense. They haven't been able to score points in either of these games that they've lost ever since that tie, and that's the main issue.
I'll give you some of the scores. They lost to CMM 6-0. Super Friends 7-0. High Rollers 13-6. Dem Gettas 13-7. And Slaughterhouse 0-0. So they can't score.
Yeah, and the main thing is because they have no offensive plan. They just come out and they play. I mean, I respect that they come out and play, but if you don't have any strategy on against the teams that you're playing against, or at least a strategy that you can call your own, there's no real game plan that you have that's going to get you any wins in the long run. So they got to set something up that works for them, and if they don't, this is going to continue all the way through the playoffs.
And the Violators are up and down. I mean, they've been playing well late, but like they lost to the High Rollers, but then they beat Dem Gettas. Remember, the same Dem Gettas who beat Carver.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Dem Gettas. Then they lost to Carver. Then they beat Slaughterhouse, the same Slaughterhouse that beat Super Friends.
Yes.
And then they got the forfeit win versus Don't Sleep, and then they beat Wildcats. So this team is up and down. Like I said, they beat Slaughterhouse, same team that beat Super Friends, and they beat Dem Gettas, the same team that beat Carver. So this team is kind of up and down. I think Lou's been playing good. He's really impressed me this season. Bo's been playing very well. Macho is not playing on the same level as he played last year, but he's playing a lot better. Yomi's just playing his normal all-star. Nomar's playing very well defensively. And I say the guy who was a big surprise was Light coming off of his suspension.
Yeah.
He made an immediate impact. Brian really got these guys playing well.
And honestly, a lot of the names that you mentioned, you know, these guys always come out and play at a high level. Some not always at the same level as the year prior or whatever, but they're always a factor on their team, and that's why they're always a team to talk about in their division. The thing about this is they're a team that can put up points. They're a team that can play defense and lock up, but they're not always as consistent on offense, and sometimes their team kind of slows down depending on what team they're playing against. And I think that one game to mention is that Carver game. They were hot until they played that game, and then they kind of slowed down.
The weather was bad that day.
Yeah, the weather was bad, and I think that's a factor too. But, Lou wasn't as accurate on that game, so, you see some type of faults in their gameplay, but I think that they're looking to rectify that moving forward, and this is one of those games they're getting through.
And they're going to have Arbery's throwing.
Yes.
Jesus is not here. So Aubrey gets the start, which I think hurts them offensively because he is their best player in general.
Yeah.
And this is going to be his last game in the season because he said he's going back to school. And this mess is unfortunate because this guy was making an all-star team. And I think he was possibly could have been the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
He's been playing great, and unfortunately that's going to open up the door for somebody else. So if they can take over what he's been doing, he still has the opportunity to win it, but if somebody takes over, which is highly possible, he may not be able to hold on to the award. We're going to jump right into the game. Second down, Lou's going to throw the white on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down, Lou on 4 rush, throws deep to Yomi in the end zone. Yomi slides for it, but it's dropped. Third down, Lou gets blitzed by Roman and throws to Yomi in the gap. Picked off by Arbery, giving the ball back to CMM. Arbery, the same guy we just talked about at the beginning of the show, making an impact here, great interception.
And right off the bat, you see Arbery making a big play, but I think it was the pressure from Ramon blitzing in that was a factor. Ramon is one person that I've noticed that is good at pressuring the quarterback. They use him for the blitz a lot, and I think that changes trajectory of passes, puts pressure on the quarterback and forces passes to go directly to Arbery. So this is a good defensive setup here, and it works for them.
Hansel's going to get the start. They're not going to start Arbery. Hansel gets the start. After the first down, Hansel throws to Roman in the gap for a decent game. Third down, Hansel gets blitzed by Light. Throws it to receiver in the gap, incomplete pass. Last down, Hansel on 4 rush, throws it up, picked off by Rob, giving the ball back to Violators. Rob is a guy you expect to blitz in. He's a physical guy, but he's showing the ability to drop back in coverage and make plays. Great play by Rob getting him the ball back.
Well, one thing I can say about the Violators is almost all of their guys on this defense is physical, so that's a trait that they all share. But Rob is especially one of their main physical guys, but he's showing here that he could also track the ball and make plays on it, and that's how he gets his interception.
This is a funny play, this next one. Lou on first down throws deep to White in the gap. It's going to be picked off by Arbery, giving the ball back to CMM, but there's a flag on the play. Violators keep the ball. Third down, Lou gets blitzed by Greg, throws it to Light on the sideline, and it's picked off again by Arbery. This one counts. Arbery with a great interception. This kid is a baller. Unfortunately, not going to have him for the rest of the season, but he's having a great go-away game.
And the thing about it is, again, he had pretty much 2 interceptions in this one drive. One didn't count, but that just shows that this play here was not a fluke. This kid can track the ball. He knows how to read the quarterback's passes, and he's able to make plays on it. He does this consistently, and you gotta give it to him now. He is a defensive threat on your team on the opposite side that you gotta watch out for.
And I'm disappointed in Lou. At times he can be erratic. At times he can get pressured and throw a lot of mistake passes. And this is a bad idea for him. This man just picked you off and you got the ball back from a mistake by the defense. And you attempt to try again and he's able to pick you off. He's either reading you either give him the formula to how you throw or something because this guy is reading you like a book. After first down, on second down, Hansel throws the receiver in the middle for a decent game. Third down, Hansel is blitzed and sacked by Light. Last down, CMM punts. Yomi drops the punt, and the ball is going to be stuck at the 10-yard line. Light with the sack. Light is playing great ball. He's more humble after coming up the suspension. He's playing great ball. I'm really proud of the way the guy accepted his punishment from the league, from a situation last year. He came back and played strong, and I think he's the missing piece that can get them to the championship. Great play by Light. Third down, Lou on 4 rush, throws the bop on the sideline for a nice game, but the time's going to run out, taking us into the halftime. Now, if I'm CMM has to find a way to score points. Like I told you, they've been struggling scoring. They have been inconsistent on offense this year, and already their last 3 games, they only had 1 touchdown in their previous 3 games. That's not going to get it done. They have to find a way to score, or this team's in trouble.
And the Violators come out striking right early. They made a couple mistakes with those interceptions that Lou threw, but it didn't hurt them that much because they still have the lead. They're still locking up on defense, and they're giving their offense opportunities to fix the mistakes they make and go on to score more points. So even though mistakes were made, they're able to correct them right away.
We're going to jump into the second half. Third down, Hansel throws deep to the receiver in the middle. It's tipped by Nomar, tipped by the receiver, picked off by Nomar, giving the ball back to Violators. Nomar's 3rd pick of the year. He's playing great play by him. Second down, Louis throws to Yomi in the middle for a decent game. After getting the first down, Lou throws the ball on the sideline for another decent game. Second down, Lou throws to G, cutting in the gap for a nice game to the 10-yard line. Third down, Lou throws to Bo on the sideline, who runs it in for the touchdown. Yomi gets the extra point. 7-0, Violators.
And now their offense is coming together. They're able to drive down the field, throw some short passes here, some safe passes here, and then letting Bo do what he does when he gets the ball short. He's able to make guys miss. He's able to run into the end zone with some good blocking here. That is a good offensive strategy, knowing that CMM is not a strong enough team to get through the blocks. That is the way to get into the end zone.
Second down, Hansel gets blitzed and sacked by Rob. And if you look here, Rob was a big hit. I know we used to Rob, like I said, we saw Rob earlier get an interception. This time he makes Hansel pay for holding that ball. Great play by Rob. Third down, Hansel on 4 rush, throws the receiver on the sideline. The receiver jumps in the air before contact, makes the catch. The ref say lands in bounds. That's picking up the first down. Hansel throws to Jonathan in the middle for a nice gain. Second down, Hansel finds Jonathan again in the corner for the touchdown. 7-6. Jonathan was left wide open. Great play by Hansel to find him, getting him right back into the game.
And finally, they make an offensive stand here, finding Jonathan open. This is something that they've been struggling to get done. It seems like Jesus couldn't get it done on the regular, and Hansel struggled early in this game. Now they finally get something done, but they need much more of this if they want to win this game.
On the kickoff, Bo runs to the sideline with nice blocks from Yomi, and then by G, Bo runs all the way back to the end zone for the touchdown, 13-6. Great play by Bo, taking the very next play back to the house.
And you see guys like Yomi making a good block here, and then G, the reigning block of the year, making a block here. When you have guys like that able to pick up blocks, deep plays like this is going to be a no-brainer, so that's a great play there. Guys, they use their size to their advantage, knowing that CMM is a smaller team, and this is why they were able to get a play like this.
And with Bo's speed, he's able to take it with the blocks into the end zone. Second down, Hansel throws deep to his receiver in the gap. It's underthrown, incomplete. Light gets flagged for pass interference. What do you think? What do you think it was?
And I think that it was. I think that Light got there a little too early and made too much contact. I mean, obviously it wasn't malicious or anything like that, but he was trying to make a play, just unfortunately got there a little too early and got the flag.
I think it was pass interference. If you look here, he makes contact with the receiver. He gets there a little too early. I think that's a good call by the official. That's going to give them a huge chunk in the first down. Third down, Hansel gets blitzed by Yomi. Throws it up to Jonathan, picked off by Nomar. Nomar's second pick of the day, 4th pick of the year. Nomar's balling out. He's very much a hater, going after this ball. We have a hater in the house, alert, picked off by Nomar.
And Nomar is not even a person that you would talk about when you mention defense. But now he has 4 interceptions, probably one of the leaders on the team in interceptions. Right. So listen, he keeps up. He may end up going to the All-Star game for defense.
Okay, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. He had 2 against a team that barely scores.
Well, that's true.
You still got to give him his credit because he showed the ability to be able to make a transition over the defense.
Yes.
He hasn't been what we expected offensively this year, but defensively he very much has stepped up. He's having a pretty good season on the defensive side of the ball. Lou on 3 plays gets him to a decent game. Last down, Lou scrambles, runs the clock out, tries to run the clock out, turnover. They should have punted. But last play of the game, Hansel's going to throw it up, incomplete, end of the game. Violators with the win, 13-6 over CMM.
And even though it was only 2 scores in the game, one was a kick return run back, the point is they got the job done. They were able to lock up on defense, and they know that CMM isn't a team that scores that many points. So as long as they lock up, they have the game sealed for the win, and that's exactly what they did.
Now, if I'm CMM, you have scored a total of 2 touchdowns in 4 games. That is not going to get it done. You know what I mean? You can't survive in this league without scoring some types of points. Their defense is decent. They only gave up 13 points this game. One of them was a run back. But you got to be able to score points. And this team struggles scoring. No matter what Arberly does, he can't do it by himself. They got to get him some help. And now he's leaving. This team's in trouble. Anything can happen in the playoffs, but they need somebody to turn around and step it up to help this team out.
But I think that's going to be a tall order to request because Arberly has been this team's everything, especially on defense. You know, he's been their playmaker. He's been the person that actually got things going for their team. He's been one of the people that's been their main scorers anyway. So without him, I think it changes the whole dynamics of the team. Whatever chance they had before, it's going to be hard to see that same chance being available for them as they move forward unless somebody steps up and takes up the slack.
And right now, I mean, Violators are playing good ball. You know, They playing. I mean, they've won their last 2 games. You know what I mean? And if you look at it, they won 4 in a row. One of them was a forfeit, but they won 4 games in a row. That's pretty good, even though they started out 1-2. So this team is really turning it around. They're playing good ball. Lou's starting to get more comfortable with the guys. They just gotta limit Lou's mistakes when certain times he has a few head scratches here and there. Once they clean it up, this kid's gonna be good. He has a great blocker. He has some offensive weapons. He just gotta keep it up and keep consistent. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap this game up. Violators with the win over CMM, 13-6. We'll be right back. Real Tough Talk.